All right, Homesteader family, welcome back to the journey. Welcome to this edition of the Sunday Monday vlog. Trying to wake back up. Talking about my title: Fat, Old, Tired, Depressed. Some of you may be feeling that. I've been seeing a lot of stuff on those topics. I'm experiencing a little bit of those topics. Um, and we're going to talk about what you need to do now to fix it, how to feel better, and everything else. So, the reason I'm feeling tired right now is yesterday it was beautiful 66, 67 degrees yesterday. I was at the homestead all day yesterday working on today's Homesteader Lane. I finally got all the logs and everything off of the thoroughfare through there. So it's ready for either forestry mulching or now, I haven't talked about it yet. Uh, I have somebody coming out to give a quote on doing dozer work. Instead of me renting a dozer, I might just do a little bit of dozing here, then hire them again later, depending on prices and everything like that. See what I can save. Of course, the dozing work's not going to happen right away. But I figured if I'm going to have the driveway dozed, there's no point in me paying to have it forestry mulched like I did the first half of it, and then turn around and pay to have it bulldozed. So if I can get him for a couple hours to a day or whatever, around $1,000, I should be able to save up enough between March and April, and have him do it in April, and then my May money will go to the forestry mulching because they're coming May 1st to do forestry mulching, and then I can have other stuff done. Um, so I was out there all day yesterday, toasty. First day of 2023, working all day without a shirt. It was beautiful. And I got sunburned, and I don't know about you, but whenever I get sunburned and bake in the sun all day, it just sucks all that energy out of you. Because your body's just pulling in all that heat. It just sucks all that energy out. So, came home last night, hopped in the tub, got ready to do the live stream, and I'm like, I'm too tired. Put the live stream for today, sat here on the couch for a second, was getting ready to turn something on TV, passed out, didn't even get a chance to do that. And I was just about ready to pass out again right now. And I'm like, yeah, better start drinking up some coffee. So you can see most of this cup of coffee is already gone. I chugged most of it before the live stream went live because that's what I needed to do. As for fat, everybody knows I'm not fat. But over the winter, I did gain like 8.5 pounds. That's because I'm not doing nothing. I'm sitting around here. There's a lot of articles out right now, a lot of surveys. I just saw another one on teenage girls with depression. And then I saw from 35 to 55 adults are now. Coffee is a cure for everything. I guess so, DT. I figured I was lucky that I had coffee because I already used the baking soda. Because I was thinking, maybe put some baking soda and eggs and sausage. That might spark me right up. I don't know. But luckily I had coffee, so I don't need to use the baking soda or go steal any from the animals. Um, but I just saw an article a few weeks ago talking about depression from male adults from 35 to 55. A lot of people are experiencing that between everything going on in this economy, and then other surveys of different ages, different genders, and all that stuff, talking about depression and stuff like that. You need an Earthling's cookbook. I'm sorry, DT, I'm an alien. So, Earthling cookbook does not fit my palate. My palate's just out of this world. What can I say? It's not grounded here on Earth. Uh, but I just want to go over these topics because I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook from people I don't know that are on my friends list because people send me friends requests. As long as it's not a spam account or things like that, I'm glad you believe me. I appreciate it. As long as it's not a scam account or a bot or something like that, I don't accept them. But if it's somebody that wants to follow the journey and they follow me on YouTube or something, send me a message and send me a Facebook friends request, I accept it. There's a lot of people talking about depression, that they're defeated already, that they have no energy, they're tired, they don't want to do nothing. All of this has been accumulating over the last couple decades. And what I'm talking about is we got away from homesteading. And whether it's homesteading, whether it's farming, whether it's ranching, whether it's manual labor construction, most people have gone away from all those because they want the luxuries, the ease, the softness of life. They don't want the hard way of life anymore. And we talk about how we're living longer now than we've ever lived before, and yada, yada, yada. And I think that's just us not thinking of the past, not remembering the past, and not knowing the past. My great grandparents all died in their 90s, late 80s, 90s. My grandparents right now in Colorado are in their 80s. They're still walking 5 miles a day. They exercise every day. And that's what you need to do now. If you're feeling fat, if you are fat, if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling depressed, overworked, whatever, you need to get out. You need to do manual things. You need to get out in the sunlight. You need to get out in nature. You need to get out and get contact with the soil. You need to do physical exertion. When you're sitting in offices or sitting at a counter at an ice cream parlor or a waiter or waitress at a restaurant, you're inside a building all day. You're not getting fresh air. You're not getting the sunlight. The sun produces vitamin D and all different things for you. Contact with soil. The hippie people will say you get all the energies, the chakras, and all that stuff from the earth. Whether all that holds true or not, I can tell you this. When you're out working on a homestead, when you're working on a farm, working on a ranch, doing manual labor, landscaping your yard, you're seeing a change. You're seeing a difference of what you're doing. When you're sitting at office, you don't see that change. Also, when you're out there, you're getting exercise. When your body's getting exercise, it releases different chemical agents in your body, better mental stimulation, just all the different things that work into your favor. So I don't know about some people, because I know some people, they could care less about seeing what they do with their own two hands. But when you go and do something, whether it's building some fencing, doing some landscaping in your yard, redecorating your house for Christmas, just seeing the final effect of it being done and seeing what it looks like and seeing what you created, it releases like endorphins inside of you and it makes you happier. And that's the problem we're having nowadays. We're too caught up in the softness of life and just laying on a couch, watching TV, scrolling through Facebook, not interacting with other people, not talking to families, not having family dinners anymore, not having holiday family dinners anymore. We're just caught up on phones. I went to 2 restaurants today because I spoiled myself today. I had to go to Harrison this morning after feeding the animals and doing some stuff because I wanted to get some stuff for the baby calf, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then this evening, I had to go out to Marshall to show my rental house. And so while I was in Harrison, I stopped at an Italian restaurant and got some Italian because I haven't been going to town. I've been trying to cut my spending. So I figured with all this driving today, I'm going to have good meals. So I had an Italian meal this morning for lunch. And then I picked up to go hibachi in Marshall. And you just see people at the Italian restaurant, groups of people, all on their phone. Nobody talking to anybody. There's no stimulation there. They're probably posting stuff about themselves, trying to get that thumbs up when they could be talking to that person, and that person could be giving them encouraging words and things like that. When we're doing that, we're not focused on anything except the computers, the internet, the social media. We need to be aware of our surroundings. And I'm guilty of part of that because I know there's been different things happening outside at night, and I'm not outside. I'm in here because I work all day outside. I come home, hop in the tub, and then hop on TV and watch my TV shows. But just to sit out underneath the stars, I do get glimpse of it because I let the dogs in and out throughout the night. And to just look up and see the stars. The stars here in Arkansas, where I'm at, it's dark. So really good skies here, just like Colorado had, depending where at in Colorado you were. But here, with all the trees, especially when the leaves pop up, it's really shaded and dark. You look up to the sky, and I mean, just to look up and wonder and just taking that moment. You're not on social media, you're not on the internet, you're not wasting your life, you're not wasting your time. It's nature. And that's one thing that will help alleviate depression, alleviate stress, alleviate weight. I don't know any fat people, not being mean or nothing, but I don't know any fat people that are out there ranching and farming, putting fence. Now, if you look at fat ranchers and farmers, they're going to be the ones that sit in an air conditioned tractor all day or sit in a side by side all day. They're not out doing it. But if you look at the farm hands, the ranch hands, the cowboys, the cowgirls that are out there with the wire pliers, and they're pounding in T-post and walking miles and miles along fence, restringing fence, fixing fence, mending fence, like they say, pulling vegetables, tilling soil by hand, seeding, doing all that type of stuff. If they're doing physical manual labor, they are not 2, 3, 4, 500-pound people out there doing that. It's when you try to go into that softness. Good evening, Norman. How are you doing tonight? But you don't see the big people out there doing these manual jobs. When you're out there doing that, like I said, you're in nature, you're getting sun, you're getting the vitamins from nature, the nutrients from nature, the chakras from nature, whatever the earth gives you. It's a lot better than sitting in your house. Another thing you're not considering as well when you're sitting inside your house is our houses are not made like nature anymore. Back in the day, they were log cabins. They had wood floors, wood ceilings. Everything was wood. That was nature. It was organic. Some people had dirt floors. Some people had stone floors. It was organic. There was nothing wrong with the houses back then. But now we come into this generation, this time in this world history, and you got fabric, you got paint, you got oils, you've got chemicals, everything in houses. Look at how fast houses burn up now. 10 times faster, if not 100 times faster than the old log cabins, even though they were made from wood, because of all the chemicals. The chemicals burn at higher temperatures. They ignite so much quicker. Well, when you're sitting in your house all day on your couch playing video games, which I don't have Xbox, PlayStation, none of those different video games, so I don't do that. I do play a little bit on my computer, but that's in the evening. It's not all day. I'm out at the homestead trying to get things done. But when you're sitting here doing that, you're breathing in all these chemicals. Whether you can smell it or not, it's getting into your body, and you're surrounding yourself with toxins. When you're out in nature, yes, there's toxins outside, but you're getting fresher air than you have inside. You're breathing more organic things than you're doing inside. And it's just giving you a new outlook on life. So for those of you dealing with depression, being tired, things like that, you need to get out. Try to get yourself a garden started this year. Try to do some landscaping on your yard this year. I don't know any person that doesn't like a neighbor that has a decent looking yard, especially if you're in the city. So if you've let your yard overgrow and it's out of control, Get out there, do a little bit of manual labor, do a little bit of physical work. Get out there, get your hands dirty, get your knees dirty. Uh, that's another thing with stiffness, arthritis, and all these different things people are having. Carpal tunnel, you're stuck just thumbing on the computer and stiffening up by sitting. Like I said, my grandparents are in their 80s. They're able to exercise. They walk 5 miles a day. Why? Because they're not stationary where your body is turning into rigor mortis and you're just stiffening up, ready to die. You're out there, you're moving every muscle, you're moving the tendons, you're moving the blood, you're pumping that through your body. That's another way to stay healthy. Good blood flow, good oxygen flow, good everything. So these are just some ideas on what I've been thinking about is you need to get out there, become a farmer, a rancher, homesteader, do something outside, do something physical that will help your mentality, emotional, spiritual, soulfulness, everything. I mean, just it does. I know a lot of people don't like getting dirty. I know a lot of people don't like being out in nature. But think about it. That's where we came from. That's what we crave. You just don't know you crave it because you want a simple, easy way of life. So that's it on that rant. And then I'm going to go over what's been going on at the homestead. What I did today, which was a workout. So today I bought some paint rollers, the 9-inch paint rollers. I cut down the center of each, put a bunch of Gorilla Tape on the inside to pad the hard plastic. And then I went and took the little baby bull calf. I had to get Big Mama out of there because, she was not happy I was going to mess with him. So I got her out. So she was over by the shed, so I didn't have to worry about getting gored by horns. I went ahead and put the paint rollers. I put his elbows sticking out, so his arms were 90 like this, and I put the paint roller this way, and then I took some vet wrap and wrapped it tight at the elbow and then loose all the way down to his hoof and then up to his arm. He is having some difficulty walking now with them. It's a lot harder because he's used to his arms bowing and being able to have more area touching the ground, meaning his whole forearm, than just two little hooves. So he'll try a little bit, fall over, and then he'll sit there and lay there for a while. And you can see him heavy breathing a bit because he's exhausted himself, and then he'll get back up and try again. So what I'm hoping for is with that tube being there, pulling on his elbow, I was going to flip it the other way and try to pull his arm that way into the elbow. But I figured with his elbow being sore, because I can see they're swollen a little bit from him trying to get around. They're not worn off where he doesn't have flesh and stuff like that, which I was told could happen because I put a whole bunch of hay down, which my hay lady just came yesterday or day before, and that's what she said. It's a good thing I put all that hay down because that's going to save his elbows. But I didn't want to do that because if it is tender or something to him, I didn't want that pushing up against that hard plastic, even though I put a bunch of Gorilla Tape inside of it for softness. So I went the opposite way, put it underneath, so that way it tries to pull his elbow down into it. And that's why I could wrap tight. There's plenty of airspace there, so it's not cutting off circulation because it's not like I went completely around the elbow. And then I put a couple straps of Gorilla Tape around that. So if he did try to somehow get on his knees, which he shouldn't, which once he was walking, he couldn't get onto his knees because they're too stiff now to try to keep them straight. I wanted to give a little extra protection on his elbow. So we'll see how that goes. Both of them are no longer at 90 degrees. One is like a boomerang, I would say about there. And then the other one is probably right about at that angle. So, I mean, still not 90. I mean, they both were more than 90. They were sucked in like that. So to have the one about that way and then the one out that way, he's made a lot of good progress on his own, but it's still not enough where he can actually be up on all fours. So today with the paint rollers, he was actually able, when he was standing, not trying to move, he was actually standing on all 4 feet. And so that's the first time I've actually seen his back straight across, not, his head down, due to the fact that he was on his knees. So he's doing good. Like I said, stressed out about it. I'll check on him again tomorrow. I'll be over there tomorrow. Make sure he's doing all right. All the baby goats are doing good. I still have Sweet Pea and Peaches that are due to deliver at some time. Got the baking soda, trace minerals filled up today, like I showed on the earlier video that some lady thought I was a drug dealer or making drugs. Not a drug dealer, making drugs. And that branches into that too. So when I moved out here, different people in the community, since I was so young, just picked up and moved. Thought I was a drug dealer because I bought a bunch of land and this and that and that. But people don't understand. You finance. So, like with my credit cards, I'm still in credit card debt. Why? Because all this stuff I've been buying has been going on credit cards. My homestead is financed through the bank. Got a loan against that. So I have a mortgage there. So it's not that I own everything free and clear and I've got millions of dollars in the bank or anything like that. But they were under impression that. And now I've had a lot of people, including about, I want to say a week or 2 weeks ago when I put a post on Facebook, for whatever reason, people keep asking if I'm in WITSEC, witness protection, for those of you that don't know that term. In law enforcement, everything, we just call it WITSEC. It's witness protection. Why so many people think this homesteader is in witness protection is beyond me. I guess I don't know my personality. If I don't know. I don't know, but a lot of people have asked. I've got private emails about it. I've got Facebook comments. So funny what others think. Who cares what they think? You got that right to a point, Norman. It is. I do care a little bit because I'm kind of curious on how they think and stuff like that. And my biggest thing is all these people that think I'm in witness protection. It's like, do you not know what witness protection is? Witness protection is, you were a rat. Try catching a shave. What's that mean, DT? Try catching a shave. But witness protection, you're either a rat, snitch, you told on somebody and something's going to come, or you, I can't think of the term now. You testify against somebody in court as character witness or something like that, and retribution might come your way, or a couple other things for witness protection. You try to get out of a gang or get out of a criminal organization, things like that. So why? I mean, yes, I come from Italian family, but I'm ex-law enforcement, so no crime, anything like that. I have testified in U.S. court against one of my exes that I got called in by a drug dealer to be his witness against my ex for character witness, which that was a crazy point in my life back then. Another great choice for me to just walk away and get out of that relationship and situation. But those different things, these people think I'm witness protection. And I'll tell you this, there's not one person in witness protection that has a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. So how people think I'm in witness protection with the YouTube channel is beyond me, because witness protection would not literally kill me, but would kill me for being a public entity on the internet. And it amuses me. It's funny that people believe I'm in witness protection. So for those of you that are curious or have been asking, once again, I am not in witness protection because I have a YouTube channel. Maybe that's why my channel's not at 500,000. Maybe they're keeping it restricted to the good few people that are that follow me, that they know you guys aren't after me or whatever. but it's just funny. I've had several other comments on different things. I came from a rich family. Um, I have uh, rich subscribers that's how I'm able to live my life because people are giving me millions of dollars to do all this. And I find that amusing too. Yes, I've had some homesteader family send me, five, 10, 20, 50, $100 for Christmas and Thanksgiving, my birthday, or put some money on my feed bill in Harrison and things like that. But have you not looked at all these big homesteading channels that they have these huge barns that are heated and 20, 30-foot ceilings, and they have 5 and 6 tractors, and every 2 videos they bought a new big piece of equipment, or they're doing the next $20,000 or $50,000 project on their homestead. Those are the homesteaders that are surviving off of YouTube and all that because they're marketing and they're doing all that type of stuff. So for me, just to have 2,600 subscribers or 3,600, whatever I'm at, I don't pay attention to my numbers. Like I said, this is for me to look back on my life and to share the journey with you guys. So the number game isn't mine. And that's another reason why I don't have all these advertisers. I don't join all these multi-level marketing groups and things like that and saying, hey, this is my code, use this code for a 10% discount when the price is jacked up 50%, so I can get paid and things like that. It's just, it's a joke in my mind. If I wanted to go see advertisement, I would watch cable TV that's got nothing but advertisements, or go on Facebook because now Facebook's turned into nothing but advertising. But yeah, so no, I don't have a bunch of rich people funding my journey. That would be nice, of course, because then I could have more animals. I would have a whole herd of kangaroos to replace Rex, and I would get a lot more emus. I've always wanted monkeys, but monkeys range from $10,000 to $50,000. So that's gonna be a long, long time away before I ever get monkeys. And there's other animals I want, but that's a whole nother thing for another day, another topic. Not witness protection, not drug dealer. I'm not making drugs with baking soda. I'm just living my life, doing my thing, hanging out. And I know everybody in here. I didn't do it today, so I'll do it real quick. Get some Anatolian time. So there's Mickey Mouse right there. We got Max, we got Chubbs, and Minnie Mouse on the couch. Hey, Andreas, how are you doing? As you can see, all the Anatolians are knocked out. They're tired. They're sleepy. Why? Because it's beautiful. Like I said yesterday, we were at the homestead working all day. Today got to 70. This week, later in the week, we're supposed to have 2 days in the mid 70s. So it's just going to be beautiful, beautiful times. So if any of you guys have any questions or any comments you want to throw up right now, go ahead and throw those up and I'll answer any questions, because that's basically all I have for you guys, except for those of you that jumped in late. I do have somebody that's possibly going to get back to me this week to come look at giving me a quote for doing some bulldozer work. I'm trying to think about doing a little bit of dozing work now and then get more dozing work done later. I did find out, actually, I can talk about this real quick. The family that bought my ranch in Colorado, for those of you that have been following me, I did the owner finance. I didn't want to do the owner finance because that was setting me back. And like I talked about on the New Year, New Goals 2023, that it's going to be a long time before I get the chance to build my house and get moved over to the homestead to be with the animals. Well, they have all the material now set up, stored up, ready to go for groundbreaking in Colorado. So he sent me several messages. We were talking back and forth through text. and he's looking at getting the house built. He's a builder. He owns a building company in Colorado Springs. So if you're looking at having a house built in the Springs, he's one of the builders out there. So he knows what he's doing. He knows all the regulations, all that type of stuff. So he's already went down, talked to Fremont County. He's actually going to get licensed in Fremont County now, so he can be a builder in the county, because once he's living at the ranch, he wants to build in the Cotopaxi, Canyon City, Salida, all that area out there, so he doesn't have to drive an hour and a half to the Springs every day, hour and a half back home. However, with all the material stuff, this spring they're going to do groundbreaking, which, like I told him, I'm kind of jealous because I never got a chance to build my house in at the ranch in Colorado. So I'm jealous there. And then I'm like, you're going to be living in your place before I can live here on my place, because I still have 6.5 years until the balloon payment comes due. And I had the money to be able to go ahead and build my house out here. Well, now he tells me they have all the material. It's all stocked up, stored, ready to go. They're going to break ground this spring at the ranch, and he's going to look at getting financing, because in Colorado, for those of you that don't know, a lot of the banks out there will not do land loans anymore. Arkansas still does. That's how I got a loan against my 120 acres out here, because they still do land loans here in Arkansas. Colorado doesn't. So he couldn't get a loan. That's why I did an owner finance. Several people had issues. And then finally, after several people looked at the ranch, then I finally said, okay, all these people want owner finance. If I want the ranch sold, which I did because I was paying electric bill in Colorado, you can't just shut the electric off. You still pay every single month, no matter if there's any power being used or not. Here in Arkansas, my rental house right now, I'm paying taxes once a year for property taxes on it. That's it. They let you shut the water off. They let you shut the electric off, the propane, all that. So I don't have bills here. So that's not costing me any money. Colorado, I was paying, I think, $46 or something like that per month, not using any electricity, because they don't let you turn the power off. So because I had that, and then the property taxes in Colorado kept climbing, it was up to, I think, $1,500 for the year, and they were talking about increasing again. I didn't want to keep spending all that money. I was racking my credit cards up. That was part of my credit card debt, was paying for all the bills out there, paying for all the bills here, trying to live here, and then, of course, moving all my stuff out here. So I went ahead, I owner financed with him and did a 30-year owner finance so he could afford the payments right now, so he could still have most of his money for what he needed to do, traveling back and forth, getting moved, everything like that. And then did a 7-year balloon, so then I got the bulk of my money in 7 years. Well, because he can't get a land loan, he couldn't get a land loan to pay me back. So in Colorado, if it has a house on it and you have a title of occupancy, occupancy license in Colorado, then a bank will give you a loan. So he's going to get the house built this spring, and I guess he'll probably have it done in like 6 months or whatever. So probably before winter. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be around December, January. I'll probably see it. If not, I'm not sure. But in the text messaging, he said that he's going to get the occupancy license, take that to the bank, and get a line of credit refinance loan or something like that against the property and pay me off, so the bank is the first lien for the property and the house together. Because like I said, they won't do that against land. So if that does happen, if he does get the house done this year and he does go and get the loan and then pays me this year, then I'm really going to be in a tight spot, because I'm doing all this here. I've got fencing and pastures to do at the homestead. I want to start working towards gardens and orchards. But if I get the money from Colorado now all that's going to be set aside, and it's going to be a grind, turning and getting dozer work to build the road going up the mountain to the house site. I got to get all those big trees cleared where the house is going to sit. Then once that's cleared, I need to get that dozed and leveled. Then I need to, excuse me, I need to build the walls, then get the roof on, then get the windows in, get the doors in, and do the whole house. So my whole, we're in February, and once again, my goals and everything I set up in January don't always hold true. Things can flip on a dime. Can I borrow some cash this winter? Let's see, DT. What are you going to need the cash for? I know the greenhouse is going to be closed up. So is that for after that, or what's that going to be for? Oh, I know what you want some cash for. You need to buy some baking soda for your eggs and sausage. Let's see. My buddy made a deal with a lumber company. They cut down his trees for free in exchange for the wood. Yes, I think the lumber mill right here, right next door, right past the barbecue place behind me, they would probably do the same thing because they're a local family. Winter Rye Whiskey. Oh, no, I can't support drinking habits. No. That's almost as bad as supporting somebody's coffee habit. However, for the lumber mill to do that, you have to have a lot of trees. And I'm only clearing where the house is going to be. And there's no road to go up there or anything else. So it's very limited trees. I think there's maybe, I would say maybe 14, if that. 10, I would say 10 to 14 sawmill trees where they're more than 10 inches where they would be used for sawmill. So between that and no road to get up there, and they would have to go through the animal pen back and forth and all that stuff, that would not be feasible. They would need a lot more lumber to do. And I'm not doing a lumber house. So if all this does happen, like I said in the last Sunday Monday vlog, if I do have the money now, because I was going to start building, I was going to try to do some dozing work this year and try to get the house site cleared this year, because I did want to start doing some of the house building come January. So I do plan end the year to talk about that. And if I do get paid off from Colorado and I do have the money to go ahead and do the house, I will still be going over that at the end of this year to the beginning of the New Year's New Goals 2024 when I do that video, due to the fact that I've changed my ideas on house building. I'm pretty set in this idea now. I don't think I'm going to lose this idea or change this idea, but I thought about that with the castle idea. So I'm not going to talk about how I'm doing the house or what I'm building with. I am not going to build with lumber. That's one thing I can guarantee, except I do plan to build the roof lumber-wise, and then I'll have metal, tin, and that stuff. But the walls, the floor, all that will not have any type of wood, no lumber whatsoever. The reason why I don't want to build a house out of lumber is for multiple reasons. Out here, I'm in a wet, humid climate. So any wood, like trees that I cut down, just sit on the ground. Within 6 months, they're already growing fungi, and they're already getting punky and soft on the outside layers. For logs that sit there for a year or so, it starts creeping in through the logs. So I don't want that with the wet, humid climate here. 2, because it's a hot, wet, humid climate here, we have termites. Hence, the termites here at the restaurants, the termite damage in Carla's house when I tore out the whole kitchen floor, redid all those cross members, all the flooring, all the walls that were ate up with termites. Give me 1 second. So I don't want wood because of the bugs and termites damage that causes. 2, I'm in Arkansas. There's a higher probability of tornadoes here, high winds here, than a lot of places in the U.S. So a wood structure is not as durable, not as secure, not as strong against high winds, against tornadoes. Any supply of rock boulders there? I often thought about building a house out of boulders would be awesome. There, Arkansas has a lot of rock, Norman. A lot of rock. As you've seen on my property, it's a lot of rock, but it's small rock. There are properties that have massive boulders, massive rocks. Um, some are just like the cliffs on the back of the homestead, where it's just that 300-foot sheer cliffs, and some of it's just solid rock. So we have a lot of solid rock. Kind of reminds me of where I built my house on Southside Cotopaxi in Colorado, where I built in, and you saw those massive boulders that you would need a massive crane in there to move. All that solid granite, and then once I dug so deep, it was just solid granite. You couldn't break past that granite unless you did dynamite, stuff like that. So no, I don't have big boulders on my homestead, but I am thinking about building with the rock off my property. Like I said, I'll go over my ideas and stuff like that later this year. Um, but that's why I don't want to do woods. Between the moisture, between the bugs, between the wind and the tornadoes, and the heat. That's the last reason why I don't want to do wood. So by building my house out of rock, like over in Afghanistan, Iraq, the desert, Egypt, places like that, Africa, they do mud houses, they do rock houses, they do stone houses. The reason they do that is because in hot climates, that heat is outside, and if your walls are thick, that heat doesn't penetrate through. So I'm going to be doing a rock house, but I'm going to do something a bit smarter than just a rock house. It's going to have a idea this alien came up with. It's not a human idea because I've researched all over YouTube, and we all know there's millions and billions and trillions of videos on YouTube, and I have not found one video of the house that I'm building, not even an attempt. So you see the sandbag houses, the rammed earth houses, the packed tires earthship houses, all these. Yeah, all great ideas. Straw bale houses, cinder block houses, all these type of ideas. I will tell you, my house, there's not one video that I've seen this idea done on, let alone I've seen parts of houses done the way I'm going to do. But how I'm going to do these walls is something I have not found on YouTube. You need to get going. All right, DT, you have a great day at work. I appreciate you hopping in here. I'm not going to be too much longer anyhow because we're almost at 45 minutes anyhow. But the way I'm going to do the house, I'm going to have 3 layers. It's going to be rock, a type of insulation, and rock. Like I say, it's something I've never found on YouTube. It's going to be an idea. Will it work? I have no idea. It came to me into my mind on how to do it. So we're going to see how it works. It's either going to be a really great idea, and I'm going to have one of the best eco houses out there, or it's going to not work how I think it's going to work, and then I'll have to tweak some different ideas to change that. But by having the rock, my walls are going to be 3 foot thick. Just to give you an idea how thick my walls are going to be. So most houses like here, the walls are 4 inches thick. That doesn't stop a lot from coming through. But a 3 foot thick rock wall, the heat here in Arkansas should not penetrate, let alone I'm putting insulation in the center, which, like I said, I'll explain later this year, my house design, how I'm thinking about doing it, what I'm doing, etc. Should not penetrate at all. And my house should actually be really cold year round. And then wintertime, I'll have wood stove. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a wood stove. I might do another type of built-in fireplace type thing. I'm not exactly sure. So that's more ideas I have. But I'll get into all those ideas later on. But since I had that question comment out there, that's why I want to let you guys know. So with that, it's been over 45 minutes. I hope everybody enjoyed this Sunday, Monday vlog. I appreciate you guys chipping in and saying hi and all those different things and different comments. Good ideas. Thank you, Norman. You always have good ideas as well. I appreciate you. And so I'm going to get going. I'm going to let these guys out. I'll let you guys see the Anatolians one more time. Mickey Mouse hasn't moved. Max just has a sniffing thing. Chubbs hasn't moved, and Minnie hasn't moved. And then I do have some coals in the stove. Yes, it was 67 degrees today, but this concrete floor radiates that coldness. So I do have a chill in this building. I'm going to have that same issue with the house I'm building. Good night to you too, Andres. I appreciate it. So I do have the stove just with coals in it to cut the chill here in the house. And then, of course, it should be warm again tomorrow. So the coals will be done in the morning. The sun will heat up the building, and then just have the coals again in the evening again. But with that, I hope everybody has a great week. I appreciate you guys joining in, sharing the journey, sharing these videos, giving me thumbs up. I see I got 5 in this video. I've had up to 9 people, I think, in here at one time. So I appreciate you guys. Appreciate the love. Appreciate you guys sharing the journey. And remember, live happy, live free. That's the only way to be. And I'll see you on the next video.